Namaste, everyone. Welcome to the Cosmic Center of Light. I am Reverend Nancy Lee Robinson, and I'll be conducting today's service. Welcome, everyone, and namaste to you all. So, I'm Reverend Nancy Lee Robinson, and I am very happy to see all of you here today. It's a beautiful Sunday morning, isn't it? Today, I will talk to you about truth and finding your own truth. So, I usually do the second Sunday of every month, unless I have to trade when I'm out of town. So this is my Sunday to do. Is that in the way too much?
No.
Okay. All right, welcome. Okay, so first, before we get started, I will say a prayer and then we'll get started and we'll follow along with the order of service, which is this paper. Okay, we thank you, Father, Mother God, for this great and wonderful privilege to be here with these divine souls. We ask that the healing angels, the guides, the loved ones, the teachers, the holy ones, the masters, the gurus, the great ones, the holy angels, archangels, spiritual helpers, and designated healing angels come forth and work and speak through me to give them inspiration, upliftment, guidance, healing, divine protection, divine blessings, divine love, and peace and harmony in their hearts. We thank you again, Father, Mother God, for this great and wonderful privilege to be here with these divine souls. So be it, so be it, so be it, and so it is. Amen. Okay, on the order of service, we'll flip over to the Lord's Prayer. I study chronic healing. In chronic healing, we have 12 chakras that we study, not just 7. The 7 chakras we always had 12 chakras, but the 7 chakras were the ones that were brought for understanding, and the other 5 became was during the period of Atlantis and Lemuria that we all had 12 chakras that we were aware of. But the other 5 since the fall of man, which is Atlantis, Lemuria, and depicted as Adam and Eve, there's been 5 hidden secret chakras. Until we bring our vibration and our own divinity up to a certain point, which we're going into the Great Awakening now. So we are raising our vibrations, and we're raising our vibrations to the point where we'll be able to tap into those other chakras. But I know what they are and have studied them from studying with chronic healing. So the Lord's Prayer actually clears and balances the chakras. It's not just a prayer. It's a very sacred prayer. And there's 2 versions of it. One of them is on the order of service, and the other one is this. We'll be saying both of them. But our Father who art in heaven, our Father that who art in heaven is connected with the crown chakra. Hallowed be thy name as the ajna and the throat chakra. And then thy kingdom come, thy will be done as the heart chakra. On earth as it is in heaven is the navel. Thy will be done is the front and back solar plexus also. Give us this day our daily bread is the navel and the front and back spleen. And forgive us our trespasses as the Mang chakra. Most of you have not heard of the Mang chakra, but it's directly behind your navel. And lead us not into temptation is your back, heart chakra, crown, sex, and throat chakra. Those are your creation chakras. So lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil so that we can create a different thing. For thine is the kingdom, is the basic or the root chakra. And power, front and back spleen, and glory is the Mang chakra, and forever it is the crown chakra. So let's say the Lord's Prayer together, please. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen, 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 and amen. Now, the second one is the translation of the original Aramaic Lord's Prayer. So I will say that also. O cosmic birther of all radiance and vibration, soften the ground of our being and carve out within us a space where your presence can abide. Fill us with your creativity so we may be empowered to bear the fruit of your mission. Let us each of our actions bear fruit in accordance to our desire. Endow us with the wisdom to produce and share what each being needs to grow and flourish. Untie the tangled threads of destiny that binds us as we release others from entanglement of past mistakes. Do not let us be seduced by that which will divert us from our true purpose, but illuminate the opportunities of the present moment, for you are the ground and the fruitful vision, the birth, the power, and the fulfillment, as all has gathered and made whole once again. Made whole once again. What does that mean? To make whole once again is for you to recognize and claim and walk in your divinity. And therefore, in order to do that, we have to connect with our divine source within us, or our divine spark, whatever you want to call it. We have to connect with that, and then we empower ourselves to be that and walk in that path. You will be led so strongly if you keep connecting to your divinity. Your higher soul will lead you. That's why I put in the service the next thing, which is the I am affirmation. The I am affirmation connects you to your higher soul. We get separated from that higher soul because of things that have happened on earth, obstacles in our way, things that have hurt us, drama, trauma, things that we feel that we can't maybe overcome. We feel separate from the higher soul. When you connect each day, and when I get up in the morning, I say, let me be divinely guided throughout this day. So right in the morning, I am very connected to what is going on in my world. Okay, I don't have to be connected to anybody else's world, do I? I don't have to be connected to what's going on out there. I have to be divinely guided as to where I'm supposed to be, so that I am in the right place at the right time, always, 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 always. And that takes surrender and trust, doesn't it? We have to surrender that and connect with our higher soul and surrender to the guidance that we're receiving. Because how many times did you get guidance and you ignored it? And then you wanted to kick yourself in the butt for it, didn't you? Like, I wish I would have listened, especially when you got a speeding ticket and you knew you're supposed to slow down and you didn't do it anyway. And you spent money you didn't have. So, we really need guidance through each day. But that guidance comes from our soul, our higher soul. We have a higher soul. We have a huge soul when we come into this earth plane. And we only receive a particle of that soul because we can't fit that big soul into our bodies. It won't fit. Okay? If you did that, it's like taking a transformer and plugging a toaster and plugging it into the transformer. You've got to have a step down. So source, the higher source, it comes down the spiritual cord and the incarnated soul. They're not separate. We get lost sometimes and we feel like we're separate from that, don't we? But we're not separate. We're all one. You have the divinity within you. So when you're connecting to that higher soul, you're allowing, you're surrendering, you're trusting that spirit will guide you. Because let me tell you something, Earth is not an easy place to live, is it? It's very difficult, especially when other people have their ideas of what we should and shouldn't be doing, you know? And we've been stopped by other people of getting maybe the job we wanted or doing the thing that we wanted to do. But do you know what? Out of those obstacles comes opportunity if you surrender and trust to your guidance. I know some of you have heard this story before about when my youngest brother had passed away in 21, and he was a very angry man. And so he had cut me out of his life, his wife's life, and his 2 children's life. So I didn't have the place to stay the next year when my mother passed away, and I asked if I could stay with my sister-in-law, his widow. And she said, my husband would roll over in his grave if I let her stay here. Now, that could have been an awful hurt, but I stayed in my power. I knew who she was. I knew where she was resonating at. So for me to expect anything different, was hopeful, to say the least, right? But what came out of it was a miracle, because my other 2 brothers came and paid for a hotel room for me, which was so much better. I could grieve my mother alone. I had my own shower and bathroom and bed and everything else. And it all worked perfectly. But had I got caught up in what she had said, I would have been very hurt and very angry and very sad, but I didn't choose to go there. She's where she's at. I don't want to be where she's at. Make up your mind and be guided as to how much time and effort and energy that you want to spend with other people. Who is it that you want to spend your time with? And I've had to make some healthy boundaries, some people, because I don't choose to spend time in negativity. I don't choose to spend time in people that have a victim mentality. I love to laugh. Anybody who knows me in here knows that I like to have a good time. I'd rather do that with friends that will have a good time with me. Where do you choose? We have choice. Isn't that wonderful? We have choice. We have free will. How beautiful is that? That we can choose where we put our foot down, or where we put our spend our energy. We have choice of 2 things and control of 2 things in our life, and only 2 things. That's all. We don't have control of anything that's going on out here. You might think you do, but you're sadly mistaken. Mm-hmm. You might attract something wonderful to you from outside, or you might attract something that's not so wonderful, or you might have to pay a karmic debt outside of you, but you have control of you and how you use your energy. And that's where your choice comes in, doesn't it? I'm going to choose to spend my time with people I enjoy. And the rest of them, they can go on their way. They have a life of their own. I don't need to get caught up in that energy, especially now with the new earth, the new awakenings coming. We're having higher vibration. I rather live my life in peace. If somebody wants to argue with me, that's fine. They can spill out whatever they want to, but I don't choose to react to them. We have a choice to that too. We can look at the world as if it's a stage, and we choose whether to react or not react. That's our choice. Now, that doesn't mean that you're never going to get mad. Because I'm telling you, some people can light my fire really good and the dragon lady comes out, But it does mean that you can pull yourself back to center, stay in your peace, and walk away. Or don't choose to engage. That's your choice. So in order to get a connection with the higher soul, it's the I am affirmation. And it's right on your second page. So we'll repeat that. I am that I am. I am that I am. I'm not the body. I'm not the emotions. I'm not the thoughts. I'm not the mind. The mind is only a subtle instrument of the soul. I am the soul. I am a spiritual being of divine intelligence, divine love, divine power. I am one with the higher soul. I am that I am. I am one with the divine spark. I am a child of God. I am connected with God. I am one with God. I am one with all. I am one with all. So I'm sure a lot of people have heard me saying this, and I'll never stop saying it, that if God was the sun, we're a sun, right? And everybody on this earth is a sun, right? They have choice as how to conduct their sun, right? Don't they? But how do you choose to conduct your sun? Are you going to hold lower vibrations from other people, places, things, events? Or are you going to be a free spirit? And I love to be a free spirit because it energetically absolutely lets you be in peace and fly. Fly with beautiful emotions. Fly with love. You can send out love to even people that you don't agree with what they're doing. The higher your vibration and the more light you shine on other people and situations and things that are going on, that will raise their vibration up too. They're not going to be aware of it. Perfect examples usually are in families, isn't it? I didn't fit in my family. They didn't understand me. And I got blamed for everything. And that's okay. Because if I had, I would have stayed there. And I didn't want to stay there. By the time I was 18, I was like, adios, I'm out of here. I'm going to go do my own life. Thank you very much for everything you've done. But I don't care to be on a farm, for one thing. I just did not like being on a farm. I was not a farm girl at heart. I mean, I did it good, but I was like, nah, I want to go polish my nails and do my hair and live in a city. So one time when I was a kid, I wanted to live in the town so bad, and I wanted to walk home from school. I wanted to experience that. And so I was always on the bus because we lived in the country. So I just decided without telling anybody that I'd walk home with my girlfriend. And so by the time I got there, of course, the bus had come and I wasn't on it. And my mother's dying, panicking, right? And then I call her from my girlfriend's house and I really got talking to. And then when I got home, I got a little more than that. But independence of where you're being guided to. And I've always been a very independent person. My mother would tell you when I came out, I was independent. But what feels right to you? Where are you being guided to? Are you having an experience that you choose to have? Or are you allowing other people to talk you into having experiences that you don't even want to do? Healthy boundaries and forgiveness is the key to that, isn't it? So we're going to read on the next page, the joy of forgiveness. I am flooding my being in every cell etheric record since the beginning of time with the joyful experience of divine forgiveness. In forgiving, I let go of all the effects and misuse energy impinging on my life and the lives of all humanity. I let go of ignorance, confusion, and pain of this world. I now know I have come to love life free, and so I shall. That is the heart center of my existence, the joy of forgiving life as it enters my awareness. From this moment forward, I am settling all my life free into a higher vibration with the gift of forgiveness that my Mother, Father, God have given me so freely into my keeping. I am a force of the violet flame of forgiveness, flooding this sweet earth. I am the joy of forgiveness. I am the joy of forgiveness. I am the joy of forgiveness. Joy. What a wonderful thing to have. I mean, where would we be without joy? We'd be some sad individuals, wouldn't we? But you know, you have to know sadness before you can know joy. There's always a contrast on this earth. Now, when we get to a different higher vibration, we won't need that contrast anymore. But at a 3D and a 4D level, we need contrast. So there will always be things that you will either see, feel, or experience as a contrast to who you are. But that calls you back. Isn't that a wonderful opportunity? It calls you back to say, I am my divine self. I'm not going there. I'm not going to act like that. I'm not going to respond to these people. I am my divine self. So there's one thing that Spirit has given us, and that is the violet flame. It transmutes all causes and cores, not of God's desire. Just what a wonderful gift. The violet flame is up here. It is the blending of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. And it's the thing that you can call upon to give you rebirth and to give you that ability to raise your vibration up and burn off all that is not. I have the violet flame on my wall in my bedroom. And when I lay in my bed, I can see it. And I was doing some prayers and meditation before I went to sleep. And when I woke up in the middle of the night, the moonlight was shining through the window onto the violet flame. And I kid you not, that violet flame was twinkling and moving. It was dancing. And the blessings I felt at that moment were incredible because I was going through a little bit of a hard time at that time. We have many things that are gifted to us that we can use to bring us up out of despair, of hurt, of anger, of pain, and sorrow, Forgiveness is one, and then the next one is the violet flame. So let's invoke the violet flame. Transmute, transmute by violet fire all causes and cores not of God's desire. I am a being of cause alone that causes love, the sacred tone. Transmute, transmute by violet fire all causes and cores not of God's desire. I am a being of cause alone that causes love, the sacred tone. Transmute, transmute by violet fire, all causes and cores not of God's desire. I am a being of cause alone, the cause is love, the sacred tone. That, when I say this, and we do it 3 times, I just start breathing that in. I can feel it lightening me up and to releasing things that may have troubled me or anything, the energies are moving in a very nice way.
I have a quick question.
Sure.
All causes and cores. Cores is in center?
Mhm.
Okay.
That are not of God, not of God's desire, because there are many things at the core level is not of God's desire. So it may be a human, it may be a situation, the core of it is not of God's desire.
Hmm.
There's been creations on this earth that are not of God's desire.
Hmm.
And they don't have the God essence in them. So we don't want any of that, do we? We don't want that attaching to us either. We have to be very, very aware of where our energy is at all times. I practice, I make energy clearing sprays and soaps with lavender and salt. The reason I use those 2 things is because the salt, and I'm talking about regular salt, not Epsom salt, is green energy. And then the lavender is violet energy. So you use the green to, chop up or dissipate the negative energies or the cords on your body or in the house. And then you use the violet because violet is a high energy. The only higher energy than violet energy is electric violet. Now, electric violet is that color that you see on a lightning. You know that electric violet color? That's the highest colored energy that you can use. And in my healing, I will use that. And I have a healing meditation that I use that in to clear energies and to align. So if you put electric violet, if you're going in for surgery and you ask the electric violet light put around all the instruments and then put a gold over it, it's very good because then it connects to the higher energy of the body. Their instruments do. So you can use different colors and vibrations for different things. And that's what we're going to talk today about, where your vibration is and where your truth lies. But now I want you all to just relax in your chair, because the next thing we're going to talk about is gratitude. In order to live in a higher vibration and to have yourself in this attracting higher vibrational things to you, we have to be grateful. We have to be grateful for what we have and not complain about what we don't have. Or go, where's my stuff? Where's my stuff? Where's my stuff? As Abraham Hicks says. But we have to be grateful for what we are, appreciate what we have, and then we have to allow new things to come. If you're focused on what you don't have, where do you think a new thing's going to come in at? Because you're not focused on allowing new things to come to you. Because your vibration is not attracting that for you. Okay? The law of attraction is one of the most powerful laws we can use on this earth to receive and to have what we want on this earth, our heart's desire. but we have to allow it. Lots of times we're so concentrated on what's in front of us and thinking, well, how is that going to happen? We don't need to know the how. That needs to be out of our vocabulary. You have to surrender and trust. My vibration is bringing it to me. It's going to land in my lap. The perfect job, the perfect relationship, the perfect travel plan, the perfect house, whatever. The perfect spiritual teacher. When the student is ready and allows it, the teacher appears. So what are you allowing into your life? And what are you not allowing into your life? This is the perfect time to look at it. Because of the way the energies are bringing things in. We're going to have eclipse and I think it's lunar eclipse and sun eclipse, aren't we? Soon. These things are things that activate the positive or the negative. Which do you choose? It's a really simple. Make up your mind what you want. Because the universe will bring it to you. My favorite saying, because I was in a place where I had lost my job. I didn't know I was going to pay for rent. I just signed for a new apartment. It was more money than I'd ever paid for. And I lost my job. And I was on my knees. I was like, how is this going to happen? And I heard Spirit said, surrender and trust. And then I thought, yeah, I'm always taking care of. No matter what happens, I still come out of it on the other side. You might be worried about money, but somehow it works out, doesn't it? You might be worried about something, but somehow it works out if you can surrender and trust and let the universe answer your call. The universe provides for me every day in each and every way. Good affirmation. That's what they gave to me. And I really had to surrender and trust because I didn't know where the next month's rent was coming from. It was coming up fast. And I got hooked up with some stuff from the state. I lived in Minnesota at the time and I had some savings and the rent was paid. And pretty soon I got on Social Security disability and it was paid for every month. I didn't have to worry about it. But the reason that happened is because I worked as a hairdresser and my spiritual stuff was the side gig. When that happened, it switched it. The spiritual stuff became my moneymaker and the hairdressing became my side gig. So it was all in divine plan, wasn't it? But it didn't look like it. It didn't look like it. It scared me for a while. So we have to be in gratitude to receive and allow what we want in our lives, don't we? And I am so grateful that I have been gifted with Spirit showing me to surrender and trust. So I want you to close your eyes. The gratitude to our Father, Mother, God. Beloved Father, Mother, God, from your glorious heart, I came into being and into your loving heart one day when my service here on earth is through, I shall return. I thank you for the privilege of having life and of having a physical embodiment during the sacred time when the permanent golden age of spiritual freedom is being established on earth. I thank you for the gift of the transmutation through the power of the violet transmuting flame, the amazing gift through which all that is not of the light that I, myself, and others have created consciously or unconsciously shall be purified and returned to light. I thank you for sustaining through the legions of the ascended flame, the open door through which this sweet earth and all life evolving upon her shall return home. To this end, I now individually and collectively, as a surrogate on behalf of all humanity, offer my energies and my individual life stream as a holy grail through which light of creation will flow to fulfill the immaculate conception of the divine plan for which this blessed earth shall receive. Assist me, beloved Father, Mother God, to harmonize my outer self, my physical self, my etheric self, my mental self, and my emotional self. Through the grace of the transfuming divine light, invest me with the power to magnetize and radiate the presence of divinity with every thought, word, action, and feeling I express from this moment forward. I want you to say 3 times to yourself. Or you can say it out loud with me. Let's say it. It'll be, I claim my divine divinity. 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 Okay, I am going to sit down because I have been having some issues with my hip and it hurts. So it's best for me to sit down. So our mental bodies, we have 4 bodies. We have the mental, the emotional, and the etheric and the physical. The mental body was created to help us mold ourselves in perfection. Okay, so we have control over our mental body, don't we? We have control over our thoughts, our words, our actions, and our deeds. But as we gain a higher frequency, we are using our mind to bring us back to our perfection if we're spiritually connected. The emotional body was to feel our form of life. So if your emotions help you feel your form with life, that gives you life, your emotions. I mean, if we were all deadpan serious, it wouldn't be a very exciting world, would it? So that is what is given for our emotional body. And originally, our emotional body was given to us to exonerate and to expand the divine or the Godhead or whatever you want to call it. But when we had the fall of man, there was negative emotions that came in, anger, pain, sorrow, all of these other. Now those things will stick into your emotional body and stay there until you clear them. That's what forgiveness and energy work, drumming, meditation, affirmations are used for. Okay, so when we release these things, we can be in that higher vibration of love, of joy, of happiness, of gratitude, all of the positive emotions. And when you're vibrating at those positive emotions, what happens? You attract those things to you. Now, that's what I call getting on the universal wave. Okay, the universal wave is like this, right? But the emotional roller coaster is like this, ups and downs and ups and downs, peaks and valleys, right? And once you release these traumas or angers or these pains or these sorrows or whatever is holding in this emotional body, then you get on the universal wave. It goes up and it goes down, but it doesn't go very far down. And then it goes up. And the more you keep on your spiritual path, the higher you raise your vibration, then you'll go up higher and won't go down as low. Okay, we actually grow in a spiral. It's like this, and then you come down, and then you go back up. It's all those highs and those plateaus. There's still some lows in there, but you get high, and then you have to process it and go back down. And then you go back up again and process it and go back down. But every time you go back down, you never go back down to where you started. Okay, so don't think and I know I felt that way too, especially when I went through like dark night of the soul stuff. Don't think for 1 minute that you're going backwards. Okay, impossible. Impossible to go back, because you will never, it's just like you'll never go back to being the age of 2, right? We don't grow linearly, you know what I'm trying to say. In the spiritual, we grow as a spiral, okay? And it's all encompassing. It's not first grade, second grade, third, it's first grade, second grade, third. And when you reach the top, you're enlightened. But how do you get to that point is loving life free. How you go from one reality to the next reality is loving yourself into it. You can't take your old self there. And that's where there's so many changes in the world and so many misunderstandings and so many, you have to go, it's an inside job. You've got to figure out where you're at, and you've got to love yourself and all others around you into your new reality that you are creating. Nobody else out here is creating your world for you. You can decide to be a Catholic. You can decide to be a Protestant. You can decide to be in a metaphysical church. You create what you want, what path you want to go down. You can decide to be married. You can decide to have kids. What do you want? Now, some of that is already designed for us because we have Akashic records. We have our blue pearl in our pineal gland that it has a blueprint for us. And I wanted children really bad when I was young. And that wasn't my plan. Now, this lifetime, I was to be a spiritual person. And if I had children, that'd take me off of what I was doing. So that didn't happen. And that's okay with me because I realized it was for my highest and best good to do what I'm doing. You know, not that I don't love kids. I love to be around kids. And if there's a bunch of kids around, I'm probably over playing with them and not talking to the adults, you know, but it was for my highest and best and my divine plan. Your physical body is externalized the perfection of consciousness in the world of form. So your physical body is bringing forth a perfection of your vibration. So, and then you wonder, well, when I say that, I know people wonder, well, what about your physical ailments and things like that? Sometimes that's caused by your environment. Sometimes it's karmic. And then here's the catcher. Sometimes we brought in physical elements to clear family lineages. And so some type of element that you have may be something that you came here to clear for the whole lineage, or you're carrying it for the greater good. And it gets really more hard to explain, but that's what the physical body is. higher creation. Most higher creation is the most powerful avenue by which thought and feeling become manifestations is through the right use of your throat chakra. Okay, your sex chakra is your lower creation. That's where we create physical. Okay, your higher creation is your throat chakra and your crown. So we have to be very careful. And a lot of people have depleted or consecrated or not consecrated, concrete throat chakras. It's compounded because they didn't speak their truth or they were told, like a lot of kids. Constricted, that's what the word. Thank you very much. Because as I remember when I was a kid, they said, "Oh, kids should be seen and not heard." You know, well, I'm like, I didn't follow that rule, but I was told that at times, and I'm like, yeah, who made up that rule? I'm not buying it. You know, but we've been in relationships where we didn't feel that we could speak our truth. We've been in, groups where you were poo-pooed for speaking your truth. You've been in offices or work where you were restricted. So making sure that your throat chakra, the powerful center for the spoken word, and that is very important that you always make sure your throat chakra and your crown chakra are being aligned and clear at all times. Now, some people say, well, I don't know how to say things to people. I'm afraid I'm going to hurt their feelings. How many times have you heard that? Okay. And spiritual people do that out of that. So they're like, oh, I don't want to hurt their feelings. If you speak from your heart and do it in a very diplomatic way, you can get your point across. If they can't accept it, that's on them. So if we're cutting out speaking our truth about something because we're afraid somebody might get their feelings hurt or you don't feel comfortable saying that or whatever, what do you think is doing to your throat chakra? Your throat chakra has to be open at all times. But as my mentor, who was the man who created pranic healing, said, what goes in should be pure, what comes out should be pure. Speaking your truth. Now, I wanted to talk to you about truth, but here, the step down transformer, that is your throat chakra. Okay? The right use of affirmations, decrees, and forms of prayer offered to your mighty I am presence from your heart. And it brings you back your heart's desire. Okay? So be careful what you speak. But you also cannot hold back your truth. Now, I wanted to speak to you about your truth. What is truth? It's pretty hard to tell these days, isn't it? Because there's a lot of truths coming out. We're seeing things we never thought we would see on this earth, aren't we? And where does your truth lie? We have a GPS and a Geiger counter for all of that. Our emotions, or how we feel about things, if you're tapped in to your higher power, your higher soul, and being directly guided, you will feel, this doesn't feel right to me. And you never, ever, ever go blindly led by anybody. Okay? You don't blindly believe in everything anybody says. Not blindly, but if it is resonating with you, if it is your truth, and you know it's your truth, then you believe in it, right? But how many times have we faltered by not paying attention to what we feel about something, not paying attention to what we're being guided to, not paying attention to what our higher soul is saying about something? And how'd that turn out? Didn't turn out so good, did it? Okay. How many times have you seen people in relationships and there's red flags flying all over and you can see it, everybody else can see it, and they just keep going blindly into it, and then later they're having a crisis about it? Pay attention to what your truth is. And if it doesn't feel right to you, if you're connected by your higher power, giving you that guidance, if you are not connecting to what's going on in front of you and you don't agree with it, then you better speak your truth. You do it in a kind way. And you always, okay, I'm going to give you an example. I have a lovely person that I do some events with. And we planned an event together. And it's supposed to be equal. I do one thing, she does something, I do the other thing, she does something. It's supposed to be like that. Two things that we were supposed to do, and we're supposed to do it equally. Well, she said to me, well, I'm just going to do this. And she was cutting out one part that I was supposed to do. And I didn't say anything at the moment because I was not happy. I was like, are you kidding me? This is supposed to be an equal partnership, an equal deal, an equal event. We're supposed to both carry it equally. And she wanted to just cut my part right out. So I left when we were talking together, planning it. And I sat on it for a little bit because I have a dragon lady in me. And if I don't watch her, she'll come out and start burning things. So I stepped back. And I asked for guidance. How shall I tell her? And I said, this is my feeling on this. That as we do this event, which is a wonderful event, and I'm so happy to do it with you, that it should be equal. And if it's not equal, it's one person kind of taking over the whole event. And I said, and that doesn't feel right to me. So I put it back in her court. I said, so you tell me if you want to continue on. You always hand the control back to them. But you speak your truth while you're doing it. And do you know, she called me up and thanked me. I knew she knew what she was doing. And I could be mad about it, but I'm like, that's who she is. Right? We have to speak our truth. And you speak it from the heart with loving kindness. You don't yell, because that's not going to get you anywhere, because the person will yell back at you. Okay? How do you choose in your truth to engage with people, places, things, environments, situations? You stay in your truth. And what does that do for you? Misuse of the throat chakra causes pain, suffering, misery for yourself. Speak to yourself and others with loving kindness. you'll get a far, what did they used to say? You can gather them with, kill them with kindness. Or,
Better more bees with honey than
That's it.
vinegar.
yeah, that's right. I knew that I had it somewhere. Thank you for giving it to me.
I like that one.
When you learn to speak like a master, you will bring love, peace, harmony, and abundance to you. So long as you use love, compassion, and wisdom. Okay. So if you're not sure about how you're going to speak to somebody about something that's bothering you, you better go get quiet for a while. You don't speak out before you know what you're going to say with loving kindness. Wow, Master Choa Kaksui, who was the founder of pranic healing, that was one of the first things that he said. Was you always practice loving kindness. So if your words are gonna say, I'm a hairdresser, I look at everybody's hair. Right? And I said to my girlfriend one day when I was looking at this, don't do that. There was this woman, she had really messed up hair and she walked past. I said, I wonder if she looked in the mirror today. But I could criticize everybody's hair, right? Because my eyes are trained to look at their hair, But would that be very loving or kind if I said, you may want to change your hairdo? It's not very becoming. Did you try brushing your hair today? So, loving kindness. So if somebody comes up to me and I don't particularly care for how they look or something like that, I find something I like, but their eyes, their smile, their gentle voice, their vibration. I work and do these psychic fairs, right? So sometimes I'll see 30 people and there's people walking past wanting to know what I do and they'll talk, but most of the time when someone stands in front of me, I find something to compliment them about. Why do I do that? Because it connects us in a loving way. And you can find something good to compliment about anybody, even if you don't like them, right? And there's a couple people, this is too funny. There's a couple people that do these shows all the time when I do that. And I don't particularly like the way they do things. And I'm very nice and cordial to them and everything, but if somebody said, would you have a reading from this person? I said, absolutely not, but, I'm still very nice to them. And the last show that I went, these two people were there and they were like, the one came up to me and she said, if you ever need a place to stay, I have a nice room in my house and I just really like you, Nancy. And I'm like, okay. What response was I getting was what I was giving to her. Loving kindness. I would never stay in her home. I don't particularly spend time with her, but I don't have to be mean to her just because I don't particularly like where she's at. We leave people where they're at. Don't expect anything different from them either, because that's not good either. You're expecting something out of somebody that is not willing to change. But you can send love to them no matter what, and forgiveness. Truth spiritually is a state of being. Okay? A pure state of consciousness that brings you back to the consciousness of love, light, true life, and your divinity. True spirituality just is. And that is your divine essence. So if you remember to anchor yourself from your higher soul, get divine guidance, right? And anchor yourself into your divine essence, where your truth lies. And never falter from your truth. And be able to speak in loving kindness with your truth. Then that's your true spirituality. And that will blossom and grow and grow and grow and grow. More love, more light. You'll connect with the right people that vibrate where you're at. You'll start seeing miracles as a daily thing, not as once in a while. And it is supposed to be a daily thing, by the way. Miracles are not a once in a while thing. It is a daily thing. There are miracles happening every day. The fact that we have flowers blossoming is a miracle. You know, the nature was given to us to accept the beauty of nature and to accept the beauty of ourselves. Because if you can look at a flower and see, oh, that's the most beautiful flower that I've ever seen, or a beautiful landscape. If you can look at that and recognize that you are more magnificent than that, 1,000 million times over, more magnificent than that flower blooming, you've arrived at your true spirituality. Okay? So, I'm going to have each one of you come up and light a candle, and I want you to think of it as you're doing it as accepting your divinity. Okay? So when you light it, say to yourself, I accept my divinity. Okay? Or I own my divinity. Whatever you want to do. You know, but say it to yourself. And as you light the candle, I'm going to use the triangle. Okay? So I'm going to put a little music on. Just hang tight.
You might explain here about the vibration of triangle.
Well, we're all connected to sound and vibration. So, and when you're lighting a candle and you're giving an affirmation like, I accept my divinity, or I own my divinity, I'm going to walk in my divinity. If we hit the triangle, it has a sound vibration that helps activate the codes that you're invoking. So that's why we use sound and color, because that will vibrate at a certain tone that vibrates with your own individual tone and vibration. Okay, so like this, and then you can start coming.
Going to all the lights.
Just breathe in our own divine essence. Now we're gonna breathe in 3 times. You're gonna breathe in through your crown, go to your solar plexus. We're gonna hold for a minute, and then you're gonna release through the mouth. So we're gonna breathe in our divinity, bring it down to the solar plexus, releasing any emotional stuff as we breathe out through our mouth. So inhale through the crown. Hold. And release. Breathe in through the crown. Hold. And release. Breathe in through the crown. Hold. And release. This is the prayer for illumination and peace. My beloved, I am presence. Blaze forth now from the heart of beloved Alpha and Omega, from the heart of the beloved Helios and Vesta, into our individual hearts and minds, glorious waves of golden flame of illumination of peace. Flood us with the precious oils of the universal knowledge and wisdom. Come down and direct thy precious rays of divine illumination and peace into every aspect of our lives. Flood the earth and humanity with the golden flame of the Christ illumination. Understanding and peace from the heart of God and the great central sun. Divine flame of illumination, bless our world today with golden waves of peace. Bless our world in God's perfect way. Flame of light so wondrous to behold, I am thy wisdom in all that I am. Golden fountain of illumination. Infuse every part of my being with the golden oil. I am, I am, I am. Illumination blazing through my heart, my mind, and my soul. Amen, 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 and amen. So today, We just want to acknowledge and breathe in, because breath is very, very important. As we breathe in life into our body, we connect into our divine, true essence, our true spirituality, the magnificence that we are. We're born in perfection. We walk in that perfection with true loving hearts. Even though it may look like something is not good or is an obstacle in your way, send love and light into it. Hold your divinity as you walk each day. Do your forgiveness. Connect with your I am presence, your higher soul. Have your guidance. Do your forgiveness and be grateful. And then allow life to come to you. Do not struggle in your life reaching for things. That is not what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to be. We're human beings, not human doings. And being that true essence, in your true divinity, your true spirituality, which just is. You don't, it's very simple. You don't have to do anything to have that. It's already there. You're already it. And as we live in that being of our true essence, life will come to us. Joy will come to us. Magnificence will come to us. Miracles are an everyday and every hour occurrence. If that's what we want. The miracle of having peace in your mind. The miracle of having joy. The miracle of being able to look at the world in wonderment. The miracle of being. We are so magnificent. We are so divine. And it's time to own that. Walk in that. Be that. Affirm that for yourself every single day. Connect with your higher soul. Ask to be divinely guided through each and every moment of your day. Create the world that you wish to have. We are great manifestors. We're creators. We're co-creators with the source. But we have to recognize that we are the source. And it's not always easy. But don't connect with being, oh, I'm human. Connect with, oh, I'm divine. We make mistakes. Don't stay in those mistakes. If you continue to bring back up the mistakes that you've made, guess what? That's going to bring some more of that to you. But if you're connecting with your divine, your truth of who you are, your true spirituality, your true, even the truth out here, if you connect with that, you set healthy boundaries, say, no, that doesn't feel right to me. I ain't flying with that. Do it in a loving way. I'd rather not do that. Thanks for the offer. Then. And if somebody's looking down on you, are you going to look down on you? Don't buy into that. Buy into where you want to put your money. Into somebody that somebody's saying that you're not good enough, or that you're your divine self. Where you want to put your money? Where do you want to put your energy? Because your energy is money. Money is energy. Where are you going to put it? Are you going to invest in yourself? Or are you going to invest in somebody else's idea of what you should do? pretty simple, isn't it? We make it hard. We make it. We got programmed, I get it. I got programmed too for a very long time, but now I'm like, nope, not buying into that stuff. I'd rather go put my investment on my divinity and being all that I can be, because that way I can help other people better. I can shine my light so bright that they have to put sunglasses on. Okay. So what's your choice? We have choice. We have willingness to look at what it is, awareness of what it is, and then we have magnificent choice. We get to do it. And nobody has a vote on it. We take control of our own divinity. Nobody can take control of it for you unless you allow it. So stand in your truth, stay in your power, and become all that you can be. Because that's when you're doing a service to yourself and others. And you don't want to not do service for yourself. People say, oh, that's selfish. No, it's not. It's shining your light brighter. Loving yourself is where it starts, because you have to love who you came from and where you are and what you are, to be able to walk this earth and be all that you can be. And it's so magnificent when you do it. I spent more than half of my life not doing it. And now I'm like, nobody can take me off that path because I'm not letting it. Okay? So namaste to all of you. I am so grateful for you coming here and holding space and energy for this service, because I have to have that energy to give to you. So thank you very much. Okay, what Ken's here, right? Are there announcements that we need to make? Because I don't know what they are right now. I'm kind of altered. I'm like, okay, what are we doing here? Reverend Sharon Elizabeth is in the back, and she'll come up and do the announcements. Please, please don't forget to donate so we can keep bringing you services and classes. On the 27th of this month, I do know that one, Reverend Sharon Elizabeth and I, we do an abundance class. We try to do it on the double digits of each month, but we couldn't do it this month, 9/9. So on the 27th with his 9, we will do a class on abundance. And it is, we've been doing it since last year, 8/8, and it is so wonderful. And each class that was, oh, I did that class. Well, no. Each class builds more and more things. More people have come to us and given testimony that they either found a job or they got something that they needed, or Reverend Sharon Elizabeth got a car. I got a new refrigerator. You know, it just things just, and I've had more clients. And I've had more events that I've been able to do since we've been doing this class. So it truly changes your vibration for attracting the right things. And she has the best.
Namaste. Wonderful to be here in this beautiful service. I got just towards the tail end, but I got that beautiful lighting blessing. So thank you so much, Reverend Nancy. And for everybody being here. It's the family light holding space. But we have some really exciting things. This next quarter is going to be quite phenomenal. But I want to say that Ken Lloyd is here. If you don't know him, go into our website, read who he is. You know, for some people, you know, you got to really wrap your mind around, you know, what he is, but he's authentic. He is real. I vouch for that. And many people have experienced, not everything, there's not 100% of anything, but there are a lot of people, including myself, experience tremendous healing, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And you get ticked up really quick when you're hanging around Ken. So he's going to do a transformational healing this coming Tuesday. It's going to be at 7 p.m. It's going to be here, yeah, and I believe the cost is $75. But you know, I paid $750 for the benefit that you do get. And there's so many layers to how our physical body feels, mental and emotional. It's not in this little matrix, it's way beyond it. And you're like, what? You know, so ancestral. I mean, there's a whole thing. But anyway, very blessed that he has the gift from God to see this stuff and be able to work on those levels. So he will be here. His last day is going to be Tuesday at 7 p.m. And he's been here doing sessions up to that. So that's taking place. And then very excited about this coming, can't believe it. Today is what, Sunday? Wow, this coming Friday, okay, is going to be the we're doing it this coming Friday, right? No, when we're doing our class.
The 27th.
It's the 27th, right? But this coming, the
Is both of
13th,
those-
the 13th. Let me see here. The 13th, go online and see, because this is a new class that she's starting. On Fridays, we have Reverend Ildigo. Now, Reverend Ildigo's specialty, everybody has their little specialty. Her specialty is when there's, you know, negative nefarious energies around. So whether it be hauntings or people having nightmares, that kind of stuff, okay? Like, I don't feel that things are not right. She can come in, see it, and get rid of it. That's her. So she goes by Guardian of the Light. She's like the guardian, but she's also doing a class on your own self spiritual protection. And that's just good information to have, particularly now, how things are going into the world. So that's something that you can, it removes all, the classes are going to be on that. And then we're going to be doing our continuing manifestation. We do have Reverend Nancy on Wednesdays, the first and the third Wednesday. She's an amazing medium. So she does the mediumship spirit messages. It's very popular. What is not advertised, and I'll share with you, is we have something called the Names of God. And that is the second and the fourth Thursdays of the month. And we don't advertise it because it's very powerful. So when you say these, you know, it's like open sesame, like how Moses said vibrations to part the sea, you know, you see around the world interdimensional doorways, like how do you get in, you know, you have to say these vibrations. It's off that line. It's the 72 names of God or different aspects of God. So if anybody's interested in that, you can see me or Reverend Nancy, and we would send you an invitation on that. We meet on the second and the fourth, and we sing the names of God. I know there's something else, I'm just not getting it right now because I'm all to do. Monday evenings, I do for 18 years, every Monday without fail, called Anchoring Light Transmission Meditation. That's on Mondays, and specifically work with the Ascended Masters and other radiant beings of light. And basically it holds space for us to anchor light to the world. But as being channels to do that, how blessed are we, you know, to be able to serve in that capacity. So there's a lot of benefits that goes with that. And is there anything else that I'm missing? This Pistis Sophia, that's well into its place. The Pistis Sophia is with Kim Converse. We're going to have in December, Dr. Hurtak. If some of you know the Keys of Enoch, I don't know if you have a tremendous body of work, but you could Google it, see what that's all about. And it is Enoch. You remember Enoch, the scribe, Enoch. So this guy was downloaded with all this information, books like this, like where did this come from? It's a huge body of work, but he's coming here. Everybody from around the area will be coming for that. It's the first weekend in December when he'll be here. But we have been doing the Academy of Future Science, which is the Keys of Enoch classes here. And there's one called the Pistis Sophia. It's a Gnostic gospel. Okay, and it all talks about the risen Christ, the one on the cross, the risen Christ. he came back afterwards. So he's talking to Mary Magdalene and, Martha. And so all the ones that, all of this has been hidden, all of this comes up front as to what's going on. So my recommendation is, because I'm saying some stuff, I'm not sure if 100% accurate, is go on our website, ccosl.com, and look for calendar of events. Okay, and you'll see everything right there, with the exception of the names of God. Everything will be there. Okay, thank you so much. SL.com, right? And make sure that you are on our mailing list, our newsletter list. So if you go online, at the bottom, you go on the web, you go to the bottom, you see where you can sign up for the newsletter. So make sure you do that too, so you get the weekly information.
What time is your abundance class?
It's at 7.
7.
Mhm.
And where can I find one of those? Because
What?
I've never seen that before. The triangle ones, I was trying-
I don't know where you
I've
find
never
those
seen
grass.
I've seen them, but I-
Yeah, she was here, and yeah,
Is that-
Ian, I think it's Ian, A-N.
For the triangle.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Where do
bought
they
that,
find
that was years ago. There was a couple.
Anya,
Okay.
isn't it Anya?
No, I could look.
What is it
The name
called?
of it. It's a crystal pyramid.
Crystal
Yeah.
pyramid?
Mhm.
Okay. It is.
And there's different sizes.
Yeah, we also have a bigger one.
Yeah, and it's a larger one that we have. This one.
And it carries a vibration that
Very high vibration.
activates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
It
was
was this one.
really resonated with
Wow.
mine.
Yeah.
Sound.
Yeah. It
Like
clears
a
the
healing-
energy.
The healing
Yeah.
bowl.
Yes,
For you.
and we have the healing bowls too, it's like that too.
Yeah.
For those that you are here, if you need the I am affirmation or the forgiveness thing that's in there is a forgiveness technique that was given to me on the back table, if you need that. That was a special given to me by spirit, and it cuts karmic ties, and it also unchains souls. So it's a very powerful forgiveness technique. I have people use it 21 days, 2 times a day. Because 21 is the sacred geometry number of changing energy, frequency, patterns, and habits. So, help yourself to it if you have questions about it. I left my card back there on the table. If anybody has any questions, they can contact. And so, and I am so grateful for all of you to come today. God bless you. Thank you. You're welcome. Oh. Tomorrow. I had to use that, so I know what you're talking about. Because he's not. Let me shut this off.
Can you sign up? Okay. I did be on our newsletter, okay?
Thank you, Donna. Namaste. All of you for coming today. I'm so grateful to see you on. God bless.